Welcome back to Mind Funk. We're about to get funky, talking Super Bowl 56. It's coming up this Sunday. Today's the Pro Bowl. We're not watching that. Some big news in gaming. You know, Jason and I, obviously, we run YouTube channels, but we also play a lot of games when we're not working. With Microsoft getting Activision and Sony acquiring Bungie, we're going to wrap up with the FWP of the week.
If y'all don't know, that's the first world problem of the week. We are very privileged, and we still have problems.
All right, well, Super Bowl 56.
Yeah.
So, Jason, you posed an interesting question to me as we get into it, because you were once a Rams fan, and then I converted you into a Giants fan, so I apologize for that.
Yeah.
And now, here we find the Rams in the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, well, the year you got me to be a Giants fan, we won the Super Bowl.
We won the Soupy.
So it wasn't like, it wasn't that bad of a thing, but it's been downhill.
And we both have the Rams as our second favorite team. So, I mean, this is kind of hype. But you asked me on text if you don't watch the games, does that make you a fair weather fan?
Yeah.
100%.
Well, I feel like I live in LA.
If you don't watch the games, you're not a fan.
Well, what if you watch, like, just the fourth quarter?
Not a fan.
No, because think about it, like,
if you don't clear time out of your day to watch it, then you're not a fan.
Well, I mean, I'd go to argue you're a super fan.
No.
Because you watch the Giants lose even when you know they're going to lose.
Watches the games.
Yeah.
A super fan... I am also a super fan, but I'm a super fan because then I go on like Giants message boards and I'm like Daniel Jones sucks.
Aren't you the mod of a Giants Reddit?
I'm not.
Oh, you lost it?
I never was.
What are you a Reddit mod of?
I was a Kanye mod back in the day. I made the flares, the OG flares for the Kanye subreddit, and that account got shut down. But yes, I'm on the Giants sub. I'm there to remind people every week Daniel Jones is trash. Sometimes people agree with me, sometimes they don't. I don't understand why it changes week to week, but every week I'm consistent. Daniel Jones is trash.
Thank
God we don't have to watch him this Sunday.
Can I guess your Reddit name?
No, people don't need to know it.
I'm gonna say Bill Belichick.
Come to the Giants 420.
Yeah, there we go. That's it.
That would be a good name, but it's not my name.
But with the Super Bowl, alright, it's the Rams versus the...
You don't even know?
Wait, no, I know.
I'll give you a minute.
It is the Bengals.
Yeah.
Rams versus the Bengals. Are the Bengals... You were telling me the Bengals are the underdogs, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they're... Well...
See, okay, you don't even know that. So you are the definition of a fair weather fan.
No, I'm a fan of the Rams.
No. You were a fair weather fan.
Every week I know
if the Rams were not in the Super Bowl, you wouldn't know anything about the team.
Well, yeah. Because I'm a fan of the Rams, not the NFL.
Okay, but to be a fan of an NFL team, you have to be generally aware of the whole league.
Nah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a fan of the Lakers. I don't think I could name you more than 2 players on the Wizards.
Okay, but you could name me 2 players on, like, a relevant team, like the Brooklyn Nets.
I mean, I can name you 2 players on Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could name the relevant teams. You're a casual fan.
Yeah.
But you're not actually a casual fan. You're a fair weather fan. Because a casual fan watches the games.
You know what? To your credit, I was almost thinking of being a Kansas City fan when Mahomes was at his peak.
And he is at his peak still, I think.
You think so?
Yeah. His peak is going to last for another, 10 years.
You think Mahomes is going to end up being the GOAT?
Maybe.
Is football harder to predict than, other sports?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like injuries are just so predominant.
Yeah, you never know when someone's going to get hurt. You never know, what kind of talent will be around. I mean, it's so much more dependent on your teammates than any other sport.
Yeah. That's why Daniel Jones, he could just surprise us all and be the GOAT.
No, he can't. He's horrible. All right, so what is your Super Bowl prediction?
My Super Bowl prediction?
Coming from a guy who doesn't even know if the Bengals were the underdogs.
No, I knew they were the but didn't you tell me, a whole story? Because we were out at Malibu Cafe.
Yeah.
And
we watched their first playoff game.
Yeah.
We did.
And you were telling me, the Bengals are fun to root for because, statistically, they shouldn't have won, any games, basically.
No. They're fun to root for because Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's the man. And, yeah, they're kind of the underdogs. I don't think they were not the underdogs that game we watched. Oh, no, they were. We watched the Titans game.
Yeah, because you were saying...
No, yeah, okay. Yeah. So, no, I was saying the Bengals are fun to root for because they're massive underdogs, but the Titans were also kind of fun to root for because they're also underdogs despite being the 1 seed. It was like the battle of the dogs.
Yeah.
It was like the shepherd versus the wolf.
Woof.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was like a Bengal tiger versus a normal tiger was that game.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, the Bengals, they're underdogs. I would love to root for them, but I can't because the 2 reasons. One, Eli Apple, former Giant, piece of shit. Don't like him. Eli Apple, I hope Odell scores 10 touchdowns on you.
Why don't you like
You're garbage.
Did he just
No, he's listening. He's insensitive. He listens to everything.
Dude, I hope he hears this before the game. He's like, oh yeah, I love the Mind Funk podcast. I'm
gonna check it out.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna realize, oh yeah, Odell just scored another 80-yard touchdown on me. No, actually, I'm a heavy Odell fan. I love Aaron Donald. Rams have always been my second favorite team since they moved to LA, so I'm all in on the Rams, and I actually don't think the game's gonna be close.
You don't think so?
No, I think the Rams are going to win in a blowout.
The only prediction I have is I think Aaron Donald's going to make, like, the game-winning play.
Yeah, in, like,
That's
the first
my
quarter.
prediction.
I don't know if I'm crazy. I've actually predicted the Rams to win every game in this playoffs.
Really?
In a blowout. They haven't managed to do that.
Yeah,
Well,
even against Tampa Bay.
They blew out the Cardinals. I thought they were going to blow the Bucks out. They were. They were up like, what, 27-3?
Yeah, and then
they were blowing them out.
You never discount Tom Brady.
No, but the thing is they did it too quickly. Like they had to blow them out a little slower. You know what I mean? If they slow played it more, they would have won in a blowout. But they won so fast. It's so hard to keep your foot on the gas when you're up by 25 points.
Yeah, you kind of want to. Well, their Rams defense is crazy too,
good,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then against the Niners are their kryptonite team, so I didn't think they were going to blow them out as much. But I still thought, like, bro, come on, man. But I honestly think it's going to be a blowout. I don't know. I like Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow. I love Jamar Chase, but I hate Eli Apple, and I'm rooting for the Rams.
Can we talk about how far I've come as far as football
You haven't come anywhere.
Okay, there was a time when I put the national anthem, we were doing the prop sheets.
Oh, yeah.
And I put the national anthem would be more than 2 minutes.
I think it was like 5 minutes.
No.
Yes, it was a troll question. It was over under, and we did it as an easy point, and you did it the wrong one.
So I feel like I've improved the Super Bowl. I'll know which way the team's going. I'll know just by looking at the screen who some players are, which for me is a big improvement.
Well, actually, you know what's crazy? So you watch NFL games and on NBC, and they do those things where it's like, let's meet the offense, and it'll be like Joe Burrow, University of Louisiana, like Jamar Chase, University of Alabama. He went to Louisiana. But the Bengals actually didn't have a primetime game this year on NBC, so they had to record their intros this week, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. That's how big of underdogs they were. The NFL was like, we're not even putting this team on national TV. And then Joe Burrow was like, screw you, soupy time. Hey, by the way, I've always been Team Burrow over Herbert. I'm just putting that out there.
Do you think anything crazy is going to happen? Like Super Bowl, power out, any of that?
No, honestly, my real prediction, I know I've just said it like 3 times, but I really think the Rams are going to win by like 3 possessions. I don't think it's going to be a competitive game. That's my honest opinion.
Are you going to the game?
No. Probably going to watch it downstairs.
I thought you guys, I heard Tuite might be going.
That's news to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Because there's like a brand that's paying for it.
That's also news to me. I don't know. I'm not even doing this to avoid spoilers. I was under the impression I was going to watch the Super Bowl in this house. I know a guy who works for the Rams, but I haven't asked him for tickets, and I feel like it's not appropriate for me to ask him for tickets like Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, be like, hey, hit me up for Super Bowl tickets.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you were hosting a big event, would you ever have an issue with, like, people hitting you up? Like, hey, can I get tickets?
Like, if I worked for, like, the Rams?
Yeah.
And someone I don't know very well asked me for tickets, I probably would say no.
Let's say 2 hypes.
Like, I've hung out with this guy, like, 3 times, and it's been great every time.
Yeah.
It's always over drinks. You know, we haven't hung out sober yet, so...
Well, you can message him, hey, I got drinks next time for tickets.
Well, this dude is a boss. I remember he got me and him a beer. We drank the beer. We got another beer. He takes 1 sip, and he looks at me and he goes, I don't like this one. I don't like the pour. Gets us another round.
Oh my god.
No hesitation. So, you're a boss. I don't want to say his name, privacy, but he's a boss.
That's crazy. Never met someone with that beer confidence.
He just said, this one's a little warm. I'm done. Word for, like, literally he was like, I don't like how warm this one is. Like, I want it out of a different tap, so he just ordered another round.
I think that's the most confident beer palate I've ever, like, do you have that? Because I would think it's me.
For me, from his perspective, he paid for it. For me, I was like, hey, he gave me a free beer, so I'm going to drink it, even if it is a little too warm. I agreed with him. It was a little too warm. But I'm not going to complain about a free drink.
But my point is, like, even if it was a little bit warm, I don't even know if I would know. Like, I think my beer palate's so unsophisticated that I wouldn't even know. Like, I would think that's just how the beer's supposed to taste.
I feel like that's not a beer palate thing. If you can't determine temperature. I'm so discombobulated by you not being able to tell if something's hot or cold.
Well, no,
I'm being thrown off now.
It's not like whether it's hot or cold. It's just like, I don't know how to explain.
He was like, this is warm.
Oh.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah, that was pretty
This is unacceptable. I work with the Rams. I don't deal with this.
What do you think of pre-frozen glasses?
Love them.
them?
Yeah.
Why don't more bars do it? Is it just too much of a
hassle?
Takes up space.
You gotta think about it. How many can you fit in a freezer? Like 30? And then if 30 people get a beer, you can them out.
Like if they're stacked?
No, you're right.
Yeah. And like...
No, maybe it's just laziness. I don't know.
Because think about also, would you pay an extra $1 to have cold glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can make more money by very little. Just
I don't think I would charge people for that. I'd just make it a feature.
No, I mean, you don't charge specifically, but if you charge a little more for the beer, like an extra 50 cents, then
it's
you would have.
It's always a cold glass.
Yeah.
Well, is what it is.
I feel like that'd be a good gimmick. It'd be the cold pint. If you open a bar, what would you call it? Big Cup Jiedel?
No. If I opened like a real bar...
Yeah.
Probably, actually, what's crazy? I would probably do a themed bar. I went to the Star Wars themed bar on Hollywood Boulevard yesterday for the first time. Well, you know, you don't watch the Star Wars movies, but if you did, you would know. Then the first ever Star Wars, they go to the Mos Eisley Cantina. So it's a fictional bar in Star Wars, and there's a recreation of it on Hollywood Boulevard.
Really?
And they serve all like sci-fi themed drinks. So
I gotta go to that.
I had the Overwatch first-person shooter. Very delicious. And I got the Mind Trick cocktail, also very good.
Oh my god. What's the base?
The Overwatch was a rum drink, and the Mind Trick was a tequila drink.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, and I was like, if this is what it feels like to get Jedi Mind Trick by Obi-Wan, like, sign me up. I am so ready for this.
I want to go to this bar. This sounds incredible.
It was fun. It's actually a lot of fun. I will say, it gets crowded fast, because we went there right before it opened. Mm-hmm. We didn't mean to be the first people there, but we were the first people there, and it filled up so fast. I guess it was a Saturday, but...
Did you see anyone with their lightsabers?
No lightsabers.
No lightsabers sheath? You had to leave them at the door. No weapons.
No weapons, yeah.
I would think you'd see at least one person with their lightsaber holstered at a bar like that.
You think? I mean, they did play some Star Wars music and some modern music, but yeah, it did have a little bit of identity crisis, because like one of the shooters was called Master Chief, and like one of them was called Call of Duty, and I was kind of hoping it would be strictly Star Wars themed.
Yeah.
So when I open my medieval themed bar, going back to the thing, I'll probably call it like the...
Would you have package like King's package? Jester's package, like different packages.
I would call it the castle.
The castle.
Just the castle. Like imagine walking by and you see the castle, you're like, well, I can't not go to the castle.
Yeah, and I picture it being like around modern buildings, and then you just have like stonework.
Yeah, I've got stone.
Yeah. Maybe
like
even pillars.
I hire only people who look like dwarves. Giant beards and short height. Yeah.
That would be cool.
And they have to wear armor.
Would people drink out of goblets?
Yeah, they would drink out of only medieval stuff.
Did they have big glass? Did they have glass back then?
I don't know.
Mugs? I would think they'd have like clay pottery.
Like wooden mugs.
Yeah. Wooden would not be comfortable.
Well, I mean, it's medieval, bro. You got to get with the times, and the times were the medieval times. So if you came to the castle to be comfortable, you came to the wrong bar.
I feel like you're starting to lose me on this bar, man.
All right. Maybe I'll modernize it a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. What? You're not gonna accept credit cards?
No, dude. Only gold coins.
Only doubloons.
There's a place in New York I like to go called the Standard Beer Garden.
Oh,
and when you go there, did I?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you go there, as you know, you actually pay for like tickets.
Yeah.
So I'd probably do a similar system. You technically are buying the currency, but you have to use that currency.
Yeah.
And everything will just be 1 or 2 gold coins, just like that place.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Because then imagine you accidentally go home with like a gold coin. Like it's cool to keep.
It's
like,
cool to keep, and you're like, oh, free drink next time I go. I've got a gold coin.
But it's got to be a really. It can't just be like a cheap little Chuck E. Cheese token. It's got to be a really cool one.
No, it'll have my face on it, no crown.
You'll sit there. You won't even work bar. You'll just sit there and you'll have a throne with a crown.
No, I'll be the drunken regular, and no one will know that I own the place. That's my retirement.
You're not gonna dress up in cosplay?
No, I mean I'll wear a cape, but I want people to think I'm a regular. I don't want them.
Who wears a cape?
Like I want people to. Yeah, I'm with the theme.
I would do a barcade. I love barcades.
I don't know why. I just can't get into barcades. I don't know why. Whenever I drink, I just don't like to play games.
I think it's because you went to the wrong one. Like, there's one in Hollywood I gotta take you to. Oh, you have?
Yeah, because a lot of my friends like that. I don't know. Just me. I also don't like arcade games. They're just kind of.
I think it's the right ones. It's the vibe because like when I went to a barcade with like really cool signature cocktails, one of the coolest things about it was there were regulars. Like there was one guy who for Time Crisis had gun holstered, and he literally was shooting the screen without looking, headshots. Like you could tell this guy's like someone told me he plays that for years, and it's cool to sit and watch like pre-Twitch stream type era.
I don't know, man. I don't mess with arcade games. I just think they're boring. They're
like
really
not ticket gimmick ones, real arcade.
No, like real arcade games. I just find so boring.
Okay,
like, I actually don't think I've ever had an arcade game that I've been like I enjoy. Like that's why like you guys like to go to Dave and Buster's. I hate Dave and Buster's because I'm like these are so boring. Oh, like, I'm so bored every time I go there.
Well, Dave and Buster's just has really bad gotcha gimmick games. But I do want to bring in a point though. You like AAA.
Yeah,
titles.
I like big, fancy schmancy.
And I find the games I play the most are the games built by teams of 5 to 10 people, smaller indie games, because they tend to have a really good experimental gimmick that makes it, I think, a lot more fun than the really accessible to all.
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of like, there's a reason you're a little indie. You know, there's a reason not a lot of people making and playing this game. I don't know. I like big AAA games. They're just more polished in general. Well, not lately. You know, the gaming industry is kind of modern gaming, kind of sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I think it's mostly because mobile games are so big.
And I hate mobile games.
Yeah. Do you have any games on your phone?
No, I actually never have games on my phone.
Do you play Wordle?
No, I've never played Wordle.
You don't play Wordle?
No.
You know what it is?
No. I mean, I see it everywhere.
Everyone's playing it.
I don't play mobile games. I'm always looking for ways to reduce my screen time.
I spend like 8 hours a day.
Yeah, like every time I get that weekly report from Apple, I'm usually hovering around an hour 50 minutes, and I'm like, dude, that is so much. That's way too much. Yes, dude, I think it's too much.
Mine is 7 to 8 hours a day.
How?
Well, I work. How are you not on your phone more?
I don't know. I try not to look at it.
But between phone calls, emails, like just work stuff.
I'm a computer guy, so I'm getting my screen time in on the computer. This is what I don't really get about phones because I'm a boomer. I like to do things on my computer if I can. If I can avoid using a phone, like the computer is so much faster. It's so much easier to use a mouse and keyboard than the touchscreen. I don't know. It's like something like booking airline tickets. Like a lot of people do that on their phone now. Yeah. I could never imagine doing that on the phone. Really? Like if I'm booking an airline ticket, I'm on the computer.
Dude, I take screenshots. Like my uncle likes to go, when he's at a hotel, go to their free computers and print it out, his plane tickets. And I'm like, my uncle, why are you doing that? Just take a screenshot of your phone. Like, why would you do you print out plane tickets?
No, I do use the phone. But it's like, it's emailed to you. But even like emails, like I'd rather answer my emails on my computer.
You don't do text-to-speech a lot? That's my big thing.
I do with my Apple Watch. Yeah. But that's the thing, I got the Apple Watch to stop being on my phone as much. Yeah. You know, maybe I'll just quickly segue into I have many first world problems of the week. Yeah, alright. But, since we're talking about it, my big thing now that has been sucking up my screen time is my Instagram Explore page. Oh. I think Instagram figured out I was single and they just showed me a bunch of women. And then I look and they're all in Australia. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I shouldn't even bother looking at Australian women. But then it's like, I'm also never going to interact with anyone who's from here either. So why do I even care about their location?
What do you mean you're never going to interact with women here? You're just going to sit at home and play
No. I mean, I'm not sliding into DMs like that. So it's like, why do I care about location? But then there is this weird thing where I'm like, Australia, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why do I keep getting Australians? I don't know. Maybe I should date an Australian. Maybe Instagram is telling me to move to Australia.
That would be I don't know if you would last.
I don't think I would either.
I feel like you, no offense, couldn't last more than 2 weeks in Australia.
What do you think would get me, the sun or the kangaroos?
I think there would be like a scorpion in your shoe, and you wouldn't check your shoe every day.
I think 2 weeks is generous. I don't know if I last.
Yeah, and you have such a violent fear of spiders.
I do. They have big ones, don't they?
They have very big ones that crawl around your house.
That's not. I mean, we have big ones that crawl around our houses too.
Yeah, and you panic.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah. I feel like I've had tarantulas come into my house before, back in my parents' house when I'm like house sitting, and you kind of just push it with a broom. You're like, get out of here. Yeah. Now, New Zealand, isn't that like the Australia without all the things trying to kill you?
Yeah, I want to go to New Zealand.
I really want to go to New Zealand. You think Tuipe's going to do a lot more traveling when COVID dies down for videos?
I don't know. I guess it just depends how everyone's feeling. Me personally, I don't know. I've just been in this weird mood where I just have not been wanting to travel. I've just been so happy here.
But you usually have such a travel bug.
I do. I traveled a lot pre-COVID, and then I just had the vacation from hell, back in September. Yeah. And, I don't want to, expand on it too much. Maybe I'll save it for another podcast, but I had the worst vacation ever to Barbados, and ever since then, I've just been I don't want to travel. I don't want to go anywhere. And honestly, there's so much fun stuff to do in LA. It's I really don't even feel the need to go anywhere.
I will say, I've probably explored LA generously 10% of LA. And that's being generous. But I feel like that's the same for everyone. Being a tourist in your own city is actually a lot cooler and underrated.
What do you mean being a tourist?
You actually go to the Star Wars bar in different places.
Well, that's a pretty touristy thing. Yeah, but I mean, it's I just want to check out everything LA has to offer. I mean, I'm literally about to move there, but it's just I don't know. I just have a lot of fun going there. The stores are cooler. I
just hate driving.
The restaurants are great.
I hate driving out to LA.
It's not even that bad, especially if you go in the morning. It's 35 minutes.
I know, but then people are bad at driving.
No, it's like 10 more minutes than it takes to go to your warehouse.
Have you tried parking in LA?
Yeah, I did.
Parking in LA is the worst.
If you don't go a lot, you're not used to it.
Yeah, there's never spots.
Where in LA are you going? There's no spots. There's
Koreatown.
But in pretty much every cluster, LA retail cluster, there's parking decks.
Yeah, but then even then, it's always so awkward. I don't know. I just don't traverse through parking lots.
I think when you get used to it, you won't be... Like, yesterday I had lunch with friends on 3rd Street, and it did take me a long time to find parking, and then I was like, I'm just going to Google parking, and then I found a parking deck, and it took 2 minutes.
How much did it cost, though?
$10.
$10. See, I know for LA, it's not that weird, but I'm sure for people at home listening, like, $10 probably sounds like, are you serious? Like, $10 for 4 hours of parking, 5 hours of parking?
Dude, parking decks are expensive everywhere.
Are they?
Yeah. I mean,
I would imagine.
Okay, it was $10 flat fee. Like, obviously, but the thing with LA is it's actually really generous most of the time when it comes to parking rates. Like, if you go to Santa Monica, the first 2 hours are free. Yeah. And there's like 1 million parking decks. So LA is actually much more parking rate friendly than like when I lived in New Jersey. It was so expensive to park my car in New Brunswick, which was just a random small city in central Jersey that no one gives a fuck about. But LA is cheaper, so I don't know.
Wait, how much does it cost?
Dude, it would cost like $20 sometimes.
No way.
Yeah, and there was nowhere to park because everything had permit-only parking. In LA, at least it'll be like 2 hours unlimited if you have the permit, but if you don't, you still get 2 hours free on the street. I don't know, it's just...
Maybe I just don't have the... I mean, I've never driven anywhere else, so I guess I just didn't have the frame of reference.
Yeah. Somehow we started this conversation talking about video games.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Activision getting bought by Microsoft. What did you think about that?
I thought it was a really good move, and I'm really hopeful. I think, for those of you who don't know, Activision owns, like, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, and...
Diablo, Overwatch, Crash Bandicoot. They own King,
that's
which is a mobile gaming thing.
Well, like, one of the biggest, like
probably the
Candy
biggest,
Crush,
right? Candy Crush, yeah.
Also, Activision, or the Blizzard portion of Activision, has had a million lawsuits going on right now.
Yeah.
Because of just harassment in the workplace and all sorts of really messed up stuff. So I'm actually really hopeful, and I really like that Microsoft's buying them, because I think Microsoft will be able to hopefully guide them in a better direction. Because Microsoft, as far as I know, has been pretty controversy-free.
Yeah.
And it seems like, I mean, I don't know Bill Gates or Ballmer or them, but they seem like much more up-and-up type people.
Yeah, so Microsoft is... I think this is... I mean, obviously, I play a lot of World of Warcraft Classic, which has been pretty shunned by its developer. Now, unfortunately, the deal isn't actually going to finish in a year, but given Microsoft's track record with how they support, like, Master Chief Collection and how they support Minecraft, I'm really hopeful that this is going to be a really good thing for Call of Duty and for, you know, Warcraft and all the other Blizzard games. Overwatch especially needs help badly, and there's so much, like, untapped potential in these franchises. My only thing with Microsoft is that the way they do a lot of their big projects, from my understanding, is they hire contractors. So they just have a ton of devs rotating on like 7th-month contracts. So I would like to see them, you know, actually hire people full time and you know, get real cohesion going on these teams, because I know that was a big hurdle with the new Halo's development. But I think this is like really good news. I mean, obviously if you're a PlayStation fan, it's kind of depressing, because I imagine eventually Call of Duty won't be on PlayStation anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure they'll let a few be, but they'll probably pull the plug eventually. But
Call of Duty will always be on PlayStation, but I think Xbox will get it first.
And they'll get the DLC.
Yeah. Oh, and DLC. But I think like they'll do something where it's like a few days or a week early on Xbox, so that way it's as good as not on PlayStation, if that makes sense.
And then there'll be no reason to play it on and they'll make the esports on Xbox, so anyone who wants to take the game super serious will play on Xbox.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it's great news for the Call of Duty League too, because obviously Microsoft's doing a great job with the Halo esports. So.
Oh yeah, and then also I think it's gonna be on Game Pass. Like, I have Xbox Game Pass, and I think World of Warcraft.
Which is a steal.
Yeah, it really is. And now I think World of Warcraft's gonna be on it,
which would be nice because it's $15 a month.
I imagine a lot of Blizzard things will be on Game Pass. Which
I think like all of them will be.
Yeah.
I think everything, and then WoW will come later. I don't think it'll be up first.
Do you think because Overwatch 2 is going to be free for the multiplayer, they'll have a Game Pass element instead of buying it?
From my understanding, the Overwatch 2 multiplayer was just going to be Overwatch 1 multiplayer revamped.
Oh.
It wasn't actually going to be a new thing.
Okay.
So I don't think that'll change anything, but yeah, I mean, it's exciting. And then on the other side of the aisle, Sony bought Bungie.
Yeah.
Which was, I thought, a really weird move.
So I know Activision owned Bungie.
They partnered with them at one point.
And I think they owned Destiny, but then Bungie kind of bought themselves and kept the IP. So Sony has Destiny. I would imagine Destiny 3, when it comes out, will be an exclusive.
I really hope not, because, I mean, I have a PS5, but I hope it comes to PC again, because I feel like that's just the best way to experience that game.
Well, do you think the game will be better when it's console exclusive? And the reason why I say that is because with PC, you have to tend to the lower tier computers.
Yeah.
Whereas with PlayStation, you know the exact specs. You know how to push it to the limits, and you could test it on just that platform.
I guess that's a great point, because the reason I even stopped playing Destiny 2 was because it kept crashing my computer.
Yeah.
Like, I kept...
And you have a good
it wouldn't even crash the game. My whole computer would crash every time I played Destiny 2, and it was such a bummer, because I actually love Destiny 2. I know it's really grindy, but at least the gameplay is so fun that I don't even mind the repetitiveness of it, whereas like a lot of other grindy games, I'm just like, this is so boring. But Destiny's gameplay loop is so good. I don't know, it'd be a real bummer if they make it a PS5 exclusive. But I don't even know if they're going to make Destiny 3, because Bungie was like, we're not making Destiny 3 anymore. But then when Sony bought them, now I'm like, okay, now I feel like they have to, or are they going to do something new? Like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people play Destiny, but you don't hear about it a lot.
I mean, didn't a lot of the good Bungie devs go to 343 to work on Halo more? So I feel like most of the good devs are still with Microsoft.
Well, I think there's probably good devs at both companies for sure. Yeah.
But that leads perfectly into my FWP of the week. I have a super high-end gaming PC. Like, I have some of the best parts. It's slightly outdated. I have a NVIDIA Titan.
Okay.
And a lot of game publishers optimize for the middle range. So I've had it like at one point for like a few months, all Blizzard games were unoptimized for top graphics cards. So it would actually fail more or lag more.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating when you have the top of the line stuff for video editing or Photoshop, or because I can afford it and I just want it, and I'm actually being punished for having the best stuff. So that's my first
what you get
problem.
for being a snob.
Yeah, that's what I get for having such a nice graphics card.
Yeah, like maybe you should tone it down a notch, snobby McSnobster.
Yeah, go to 3080.
What do you have?
I have an NVIDIA Titan.
I know very little about graphics. I have a 2080.
You have a 2080? So it's like 2080, 2090, right?
Sure.
And then Titan. It's like 25% better.
So you're like 2 tiers better than me.
Mine's like 25% better than yours at like 300% of the cost.
Well, not on the games that I play, because apparently those are the games you play.
Yeah.
They don't work very well.
You know what happened with Odell, right?
Yeah, I saw.
He accepted his paycheck in, I think, Bitcoin, and he had to pay taxes in what would have been U.S. conversion at the time. And after he paid taxes and it went down so much, he only made like $35,000 for the year.
Yeah, I saw that. So my thing is, technically you can't take your paycheck in Bitcoin on an NFL contract, which means he was converting his USD to Bitcoin upon receiving it. So I doubt he kept doing it.
Yeah.
Is my thing.
Oh, do they not get paid out like in one big sum?
So they get game checks.
Oh.
Your NFL salary is divided by the games, and then different bonuses that, roster bonus hits you in March, yada, yada, yada.
So if you're injured, do you still usually get paid?
Yeah.
And then if the coach doesn't play you, but you're on the bench, do you get paid?
You would get your base salary, but a lot of players have small things like, active for X amount of snaps. NFL contracts are really complicated compared to other sports, so little big brain economics of the week.
Yeah, I feel like you know a lot about like the business of sports.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've just spent so much time learning about it and stuff, and obviously, there's so much more to NFL contracts that I don't know, so I'm not going to pretend to be like an expert on it, but.
I mean, hey, compared to a fair weather fan like me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't even think it's fair to call you a fair weather fan at this point. I think you're more of like a bad weather fan.
I mean, I didn't stick with the
You're
Giants.
You're so uncommitted that I don't think you're allowed to be around for the fair weather. I think you're only
I'm
allowed to be
for
around
the
when there's
Rams.
like a storm and stuff.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't even get why you're rooting for the Rams. How many Rams games did you watch this year?
Does fourth quarter only count?
No.
Then 2.
You've watched 2 full games.
I think 2
and you're
or
calling
3,
yourself a fan.
Well, some of us have work and we're busy.
Yeah, on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I work on Sundays.
Okay, but if you don't move work around to watch the game, then I
could make time for the game.
You have 3 monitors. You couldn't put the game on one of them?
Nah, cause
2 of these right now are being used to show your wallpaper.
Yeah, it's a good wallpaper though. Gotta admit.
Why do you want to talk to me about your Valentine's Day plan?
Unfortunately, James and I follow a World of Warcraft content creator named Barney64. She's decided to release part 3 of a really big series that she's been having on her channel on Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, I have Valentine's Day plans because I have a girlfriend. And I also really want to watch the finale with you. I've been waiting like 9 months for this thing to come out. And now I'm just stuck in the middle of like, do I watch it with James? Go out on a date with Ari. I don't know what to do.
Well, your girlfriend plays World of Warcraft.
She doesn't want to watch it. I've tried. Because we've watched like part 1 and she just wasn't into it. They're like hour-long YouTube videos. It's not like a 10-minute video, guys.
I mean, it's a little bit of... It's about the same commitment as watching a Rams game. It's actually less.
Yeah, it's less.
It's less.
Yeah. And then Ari's going to have to watch the Rams game with me. She's not big into football.
Well,
We're gonna watch the
it's
Super
kind of
Bowl.
your American duty to watch the Super Bowl.
It really
like,
is.
as an American, if you don't watch the Super Bowl, you've been stripped of your patriotism.
I don't think it's just American. I actually have European friends who watch the Super Bowl. They're really into it.
They want to be American.
Yeah, I know this guy from Germany.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, he's super into it. Yannick, if you're watching this.
Fuck you, Yannick.
Damn. All right.
What?
Hot take of the... What do you have against the Austrian?
But you said he was German.
Did I?
You said he was from
Oh,
Germany.
shit. That might be racist.
I mean, you can be Austrian and be from Germany.
He's Austrian.
It's like you can be anything and be from anywhere, I guess.
I know he lives in Austria, and I think he identifies as an Austrian.
And you called him a German.
I did.
That's
well,
so weird.
aren't they like the same thing?
It's like saying, aren't me and you the same thing?
We are. We're both from California. We're both American. I'm like 5th generation American, so I think I'm American.
On my mom's side, I think I'm... Well, so my mom was born in Italy and was raised there and then moved here. So I guess I'm, what is that, 2nd generation on my mom's side?
That's 1st generation.
1st generation on my mom's side.
Wait, your mom was born... She can't be the president?
I don't think my mom was ever in line.
I didn't know that. Well, that's because from birth, she couldn't.
No. She's too Italian.
Oh my god, I didn't know
Way too
that.
Italian.
She could be a governor, though.
She could.
Yeah.
I don't think she wants to be. She left California.
Wow, I never knew you were 1st generation.
Well, on one side.
Oh. What about your dad's side?
So my dad's side, grandfather on his side, moved here. Was not born here, but my grandmother was. So I don't know. I don't know how that all works. I'm like a half on that side. So I make like a 1st and a half.
I started this conversation and then I
like
realized...
if your dad is from America and your mom is from say Canada, does
Yeah.
that make you a 1st generation or a 1.5 generation?
I think you're still a first.
I feel like you're a 1.5.
I guess it depends on what you spoke. Like, did you ever speak any Italian or learn any Italian?
No.
Really?
No.
Your mom speaks it though?
No.
How's she not? She grew up in Italy.
Yeah, but she moved here when she was like 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure she speaks it then. Some.
Nah.
Her parents didn't speak it to her at home?
I don't think so. Well, I don't. I've never met my grandfather. It's the root of me being jaded. He added me on Facebook, and I denied him.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I said, if you're not going to be there for the first 18 years of my life, you won't be here for the next 18.
Wait, it's a Facebook friend request. What do you mean?
He wasn't worthy of my friendship. He never. That was the first time this dude ever reached out to me, and I was like, "Fuck you, dude."
Oh my god!
Like, go fuck
this
yourself.
is your grandfather.
Well, apparently my grandfather had like 18 children who he just abandoned, including my mom. So
What?
fuck that guy.
Oh yeah, well fuck that.
Yeah,
guy.
I'm not a fan. He tried to reach out to me.
You know what? He's being a fair weather fan.
He was a fair weather fan of Jiedel.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
If you're only gonna watch my bangers and not my duds,
If it's a 10 out of 10.
I guess that would.
I might not
be
be
the
watching
definition
your-
of a fair weather.
Yeah. I might not be watching your duds either, if I'm being honest.
No, but yeah, I don't like my grandfather. Apparently, he owns a villa in Sicily.
Are you gonna buy his villa?
I kind of want it.
That'd be a great power play.
And then burn it.
Yeah.
No, that'd be. I really want to get rich so I can do that and
That
just
would
be
be
like,
awesome.
you suck.
Now, when you do a YouTube video, I'd burn my grandfather's
Buying
villa.
my grandfather's villa and burning it to the ground and spitting in his face. That would be a banger.
That would be. And the thumbnail's just you spitting on an old man.
Yeah, and then I could build like a nice modern house on like the coast of Sicily.
Oh, that would be cool.
That'd be cool. But then I'd have to learn Italian.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I actually gave learning German like a real try.
yeah.
You know, I worked at it for months, and I stopped for a week, and I don't remember anything. I'm so bad at learning languages.
Really?
It's so hard.
I thought you were like speaking good German. Like I remember you
But
were
when I was
like
in the
running
thick of it.
Yeah.
But then I stopped for a week, and I literally forgot all of it.
How?
Dude, I'm bad at language. I'm
That's
so bad at. That's why I
crazy.
took sign language in high school. Because like, dude, Spanish just I couldn't retain anything.
Yeah, I struggled with Spanish a lot.
And then the sign language teacher was like, it's a different language than English, and I was like, no, it's the same language as English. It's just different. Sign language is like. Is like almost a joke in high school.
I've never.
It's
I don't
like a
know
joke
sign
of a
language
class.
At all. I do know everyone would say it was a joke.
It was a complete joke.
I just never was in it. I know. Didn't Jesse take sign language too?
He took Chinese.
You think Jesse speaks Chinese?
No.
I
Jesse
took-
doesn't know a lick of Chinese.
I
He
actually-
took it for 2 years.
I took Chinese in college, and I actually learned some of it.
How much? But like, can you hold like a conversation at all?
Not anymore. I
But
could
that's
for
what
the
I'm saying.
first
It's like
month.
you stop for like a year and you just forget everything. But it's
I
not.
remember how to say my
It's like
name,
I
though.
don't do multiplication, but I could whip out the multiplication equation right now.
Yeah, whip one out.
I mean, if you want, like,
Yeah.
give me 2 numbers and a piece of paper, I'll solve it.
All right, 5 times 4.
20.
This man knows his stuff.
Yeah, I know. Well, but that's what I'm saying is like I just don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like I don't understand why I just cannot retain language.
So if I have a question for you, if you got captured by Germans, and you needed to negotiate with them.
What time period is this taking place?
Today.
Today, okay.
Today, you're headed to Wiener Schnitzel to get a dog.
That's insulting.
Okay. You're headed to Sharky's to get a... You don't like Sharky's?
No, I just don't. Wiener Schnitzel to German people.
Oh, you think it's... Well, that's why they're like, this guy's going to Wiener Schnitzel. We need to capture him.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
All right.
And you need to try to negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say? Can you count in German?
No, I don't even think I got to numbers. Dude, I blank.
You don't even say Guten Tag?
But the good thing is most Europeans speak English, so I'm chilling. So Europeans are very considerate.
Were you a good American tourist?
I think so.
I know a lot of people.
I was in Munich. I was not in Amsterdam.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you talk about what happened in Amsterdam?
All right. So the first night, me and my boy Kieran, rest his soul.
Rest his soul.
Well, he's the victim of the story.
Okay.
Kieran and I go out to a nice steak house, get a delicious steak, eat it. We're full. We go to a bar and we're watching a local band play.
All right.
And they're pretty good. We're bar crawling. We come back because we're like, this is a vibe. I normally really don't like live music, especially in small venues, but they were good. They weren't too loud. That's the big thing. A lot of times these bands are too goddamn loud. You can't hear anything, and it hurts your ears.
I love live music.
Perfect volume.
Yeah.
It was a vibe. You could jam out to it if you dedicated it to it, but if you wanted to talk to someone, you could. It was like
it's not just like
it was like they
piano,
discovered
right?
the perfect level of volume that has not been achieved before or since.
Really?
This was the point in time where the equilibrium of great volume happened.
Maybe the manners are just better in Europe, where they know not to play music crazy loud.
Yeah, these guys were awesome. They were good performers, and Kieran and I kept doing shot and beers because I just didn't feel the alcohol.
What is a shot beer?
It's when you get a shot and a beer. You take the shot, then you drink the beer. And I think I did like 8 of them in a row.
Oh my god.
I just couldn't feel it, like, at all.
Oh my god. So European drinks.
Like, literally,
weak.
like, no, I'm not calling them weak. I just, for whatever reason, it just wasn't hitting me.
That's
and then, of course,
crazy.
it hit me all at once.
Yeah.
And I vomed and almost fell into the rivers. And at one point, apparently, Kieran hid me behind a bush when the cops, I don't know. I wasn't conscious for any of this. But apparently, by all accounts, I was a complete shit show.
God.
So I avoided doing that a second time.
Yeah. Well, I feel like when in Rome, when in Europe, right? You just,
when in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
You damn.
You damn.
You damn.
You might even Amster.
You amster around and you end the night with a nice damning.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like as long as you always make it back to your hotel in time, like by the end of the night or the end of the morning or whatever, it's like you made it.
I mean, I didn't make it on my own power, but I did make it.
All right. As long as you made it.
All right. I will tell one more funny story from this Europe trip.
Ooh.
Me and my friend Kieran, God bless his soul.
You're acting like he's deceased.
No, he's a great guy. I just wanted to say that. Kieran and I are going on the beer tour of Munich.
That sounds awesome.
This is me and Kieran's dream. This is why we were born to go on this tour. Me and Kieran, we love beer. We love German beer. And what Augustiner, the greatest beer in the world, have to go. Cool. So we go on a beer tour. The night before, Kieran and I, we did our own little tour. We did a little bar crawl of our own before we went on like a paid tour.
All right.
And we went to one of those like late night, little shacks they have in the train station in Munich. They have these like little like kiosks, let's say.
Do they have anything like that in America?
Yeah, it's like, if you go to... You remember in New York when you go to Penn Station, they have little food kiosks?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are like food kiosks, but they're like freestanding. They're not like on the wall. They're like kind of freestanding food stands. Kieran and I got like bratwurst. Just generic bratwurst. Ate it, enjoyed it, loved it. I think you might have got like a pork knuckle.
What?
Don't worry about it. But we were like, that was really good. German, like, shit food is so much better than American shit food.
Oh, yeah.
This is amazing. We love German shit food. We knew it was like, we knew it was their shit food, but we were like, wow, that's really good.
Oh, yeah.
So we're on the beer tour, we're all kind of sauced, it's like me, him, a bunch of other tourists. Me and him are chilling with this like 37-year-old Ukrainian engineer.
So not a lot of Americans there?
Not too many. It was like people from all over the world.
Because I'd be worried about a language gap.
So our tour guide was a American who moved to Germany.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She was, whatever. But, it's us and your other people. And we're all having a great time. It's a great tour. And we passed the train station. And I shit you not, our tour guide points at the exact food kiosk that Kieran and I ate at the previous night and says, those are horrible. Never eat at them. And Kieran and I are just dying laughing. Yeah. So fast forward, because we've been like roasted, but no one knows.
Yeah.
Fast forward, The tour ends at this bar that's a little too crowded. So me and Kieran, it wasn't one of the big beer halls. They were like, all right, if you want to check out, the local craft scene, come here. And me and Kieran were like, we're here for the big boys. We're not here for the indie games. We're here for the AAA Augustiner beer.
Augustiner's so good.
Augustiner's the best. So Kieran and I, waddle our way over to the train station.
No.
And we hit up the same kiosk.
No, you did
yes,
not.
Yes, we do. And then we get our shit food, and then the tour comes through.
No.
And sees Kieran and I eating the shit food, and they give us the most judging look. And Kieran and I are just sitting there with our like bratwurst and our pork knuckle, and we were just dying laughing. It was so funny.
How can you go back for seconds?
Because it was good.
But there has to be better food around then. No way.
But it's fast.
I'm sure there's you can't just get a dog to go elsewhere.
But we enjoyed it. and I think one of those things where it's like when someone tells you not to do something, it makes you want to do it.
Yeah.
When she was making fun of our kiosk, we were like, we'll show her. We will eat this shit food.
I will say, to that credit, in New York, really good street food.
Yeah, that's the thing. On New York, when you're by Times Square and they have those little food stands, they're delicious.
Yeah, it's really
great.
good, except for that guy right outside of Madison Square Garden who sells pretzels and then criminally undercooks them. And what I mean is it's freaking frozen in the middle. I bought 2 hot dogs from you on 2 different days, and it was cold. It was rock hard in the middle. I threw it out the second time. I was so mad. Because I want good pretzels in New York. That's where you get pretzels. Mm-hmm. And this guy is criminally undercooking his pretzels. I don't know if they're frozen before, but yeah, street food's really good.
Yeah, street food is great everywhere, all around the world.
I lived in Korea for a little bit, and there was this chicken wing stand right next to our favorite bar, and I swear she probably never changed out the oil. Most incredible wings ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, oh my god, so full of flavor, and it was $2 for a plate of wings. You can't beat it.
You can't beat street food. Well, guys, that will wrap up this episode of Mind Funk. Jason and I went completely off the rails. We're definitely new to the whole podcasting thing, but bear with us. We'll try to be a little bit more focused on the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode
of Mind Funk.
We'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Peace.